In Ireland, a lot of us weren't taught about consent when we were growing up, which can make it hard to know what consent is and how to talk about it. But it's a skill like any other, and it needs to be learned. No one automatically knows how to ride a bike or cook. We learn and practice these skills to get better. Consent is no different. Consent is about communication, understanding, and respect. It's about having open and honest conversations. It's about setting boundaries and actively listening to what's being said and how it's said. We want to be very clear. There is no one-size-fits-all for consent, but consent is necessary every time for safe sex. And the absence of consent is a crime that needs to be taken seriously. Consent might not always be verbal. Think about when you go to hug someone who doesn't want to. They might move away, signaling a no. When we signal a yes, there can be lots of different signs, including nodding, maintaining eye contact, smiling, or moving closer. Someone who isn't sure might freeze, not knowing what to do or say. If you're not sure what certain body language means, ask. You won't ruin the moment, you'll enhance it. It is most important to be sure. Respecting another person's boundaries and actively listening to them is a great way to practice consent, and so is setting your own boundaries and making clear what you like and don't like. Remember that one-time consent doesn't mean a yes forever or to everything. It can feel awkward to say no or to ask for what you want. But remember, sex should be fun and enjoyable for everyone involved. In the moment, it's important to slow down and ground yourself. Think about whether you're happy and having fun, and if the other person is. Hearing no is never easy, but no is the absence of consent, and it needs to be listened to. It may have taken a lot for that person to express that no, and they are trusting you to respect it. Asking again and again, trying to get a yes, is not respectful, and it is pressuring. And if they change to a yes eventually as a result of that pressure, it is not consent. There's no shame in saying no or yes to something, and there's no shame in speaking openly and honestly about sex. Without these conversations, we can't have a culture and society of safe, informed sex. When it comes to consent, like any skill, it gets easier the more you practice. So actively listen, make, and respect boundaries, and take a minute to ground yourself. If you want to know more about how to practice consent, visit www.we-consent.ie.